still stepping. I'm still stepping, still stepping, still stepping. I'm still stepping. Though the roads get rocky, the hills get steep. I can't run, I'm gonna walk. I can't walk, I'm gonna creep. I'm still stepping. I'm still stepping, still stepping, still stepping. I'm still stepping.
Hello everyone. Love, light, and blessings to you all. My name is Dervin Walker, and I'm the author of this book, There's Always a Light, The Journey of a Warrior. I want to welcome you to the Talk and Step Show. This is my daughter and co-host, Dee Dee.
Hi guys, I'm excited to be here on the Talk and Step Show, and I'm honored to be able to be the person alongside my dad, to be able to bring out this person that I've known all my life for the whole entire world to see. And I think you guys will be fascinated and interested with how he thinks, how he moves, and how he views the world.
The Talk and Step Show is just basically me sharing my journey with you guys, but we're going to go in details, in deeper depth, and talk about some of the topics that I mentioned in the book, because my intention is to share my journey with you guys, and you guys figure out where can you use it in your life and what can you do with it, sharing it to other people, and, you know, just making this world a better place, because that's exactly what my intention is. And I'm happy to have my daughter with me to bring this light out to the world. So, you know, we're gonna start off by, you know, talking about my battle with cancer. You know, that's what we're gonna talk about, different topics, different episodes, you know, different shows, different topics. But today we're gonna start, you know, by talking about my my journey with cancer.
Okay, so why don't you start out talking to the viewers about how you found out that you did have cancer?
Okay, yeah, that's a question that I get a lot. Like, that's like one of the first questions people ask me, you know. Oh man, the way I found out I had cancer, man, it was, you know, it was a journey in itself, you know. I had a lump on my stomach, on my abdominal wall, in my muscle, you know, because I got a six-pack, you know, I work out in the gym, so I noticed there was a lump, you know, in like around my muscle area. So when I went to the doctor for my physical, you know, I expressed my concern to him about the lump, because you know, it wasn't, you could only feel the lump. You couldn't really see it. You could feel it though. So I showed him where it was, and he checked it. And he actually joked about it. You know, he told me to give him my hand, and I gave him my hand, and he reached towards my abdominal wall and touched it, and he was like, "Yo, that's your muscle, man. That's your six-pack." You know, I was like, "All right, you know, I ain't paying no mind, okay," and I left. So fast forward a year later, when I went back to him for my yearly physical, now I could see the lump. You know, it was more, you could see it. So, you know, I expressed my concern now, because I'm like, it's still there, man. It's like growing. You know, I really don't like it. He still, you know, thought it was nothing. You know, he still was saying, nah, it ain't nothing. But because I was like on him, he said, okay, for your, for peace of mind, I'm going to send you to see a surgeon. You know, he gave me the card to call up a surgeon and set up an appointment, which I did. Went to see the surgeon, and he looked at it, you know, examined it, and he basically told me it's something called a desmoid tumor. And a desmoid tumor, if you take it out, it's a big chance that it will come back and come back more aggressive. So he told me if it's not bothering me, he advised me to leave it, which it wasn't bothering me at all. It wasn't bothering me at all. No pain, nothing. So anyway, I left again, like, okay. And that was about November. A few months later, somewhere around February, March, I noticed that the lump was like growing like this. Like now it's like moving, growing faster. And now it was coming to be around summertime, and you know, I work out, I like to take my shirt off and stuff like that, man. So I'm thinking like this lump is like sticking out, man. Like I didn't like it. Kids would just walk up to you and ask you, what is that? You could see it, you know, even through my t-shirt, you could see, you know. So I'm starting getting uncomfortable. So I decided, you know, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take my chances. So I called him up, and I went back to see him. And he said, okay, you sure? I said, yes, I want to take it out. He said, you read about it? Because he told me to go read about desmoid tumor, which I did. I said, yeah, I read about it, but I'm going to take my chances. If it comes back, then I'll worry about it. He said, okay. And he told his nurse to set up some appointments so we could get it started. And two of the appointments was, one was a biopsy and one was an ultrasound, because that's just regular procedure before they take it out. So, you know, I went, you know, they set it up and I went to do it. I went there to do it. And they did the biopsy, and that's where everything started right there. They did the biopsy, and when the biopsy came back, the result from the biopsy came back, you know, it was cancerous.
So when you received this news, where were you? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, when I received the news, you know, as you know, when I received the news, man, it was a Tuesday when I did the biopsy. I did the biopsy on a Tuesday, and then Thursday, I took my daughter. I took her to school in North Carolina. You know, we're in New Jersey, so she was starting college. So we had to go for freshman orientation on Friday. So I did the biopsy Tuesday. On Thursday, we flew out to North Carolina so we could be there first thing Friday morning. So while we was there in the hotel in North Carolina Thursday night, I got a call from the doctor about 8 o'clock at night. A strange number coming in, I answered it. It was my doctor. And, you know, he started telling me, you know, he got the results back, and he was talking. He was saying some stuff that I wasn't really, you know, doctor talk. So anyway, it's when he mentioned the word cancer, and he didn't tell me I have cancer. While talking, the word cancer was mentioned. And I started, now I'm like, start paying attention. So I said to him, I said, Doc, what are you saying? I have cancer? He said, yeah, we see some cancer cells in the biopsy. And then, listen, he talking, but at that point now, I'm not even sure. I couldn't even tell you what the conversation was exactly, how it went, but I just knew he was like trying to tell me I got to come in the office in the morning. And I told him, I said, I'm in North Carolina. And I mean, I'm going to be here until tomorrow evening, which will be Friday evening. You know, because my daughter going for the freshman orientation the next morning. So I told him, I said, I can't come tomorrow. So basically he said to call the nurse in the morning. Just, and because we got to set up some appointment like right away. So I was like, okay, you know, but that's all I found out. That's all I found out. I was in North Carolina with my daughter, you know, take her to school. And that's what I found out. I was all the way, you know, I was away from home.
So when you got back to New Jersey, what was the plan then? What was the next step? What was the next move?
Well, when I got back to New Jersey, it's like, you know, it was all about the appointments. They want me to do 10 different things one time. So I'm thinking now, it was what? Going on to 2 years that this lump was there, and they're telling me it's okay, leave it alone. To the next moment is, yo, we gotta move. You know, so when I got back to New Jersey, it was appointments, you know, just on the phone constantly. I gotta go here, and I'm still numb.
Yeah, how are you feeling? How are you registering all this?
Yeah, I'm still numb. I'm still numb. So it's like, you know, I'm not even feeling it right now. I'm just going. Yeah, it's not sinking yet or nothing. All I'm thinking about is, how come, you know, like, just thinking about how long it was there, you know, and like, wow, like, that's all I'm thinking, you know. So when I got back, it's just appointments. They want me to do all these tests, and they want me to set up surgery, and they want me to schedule, you know. That's all that was going on when I got back to New Jersey. But what really happened now is that they want to get me surgery right away to take it out. And remember, this is the same doctor that was telling me leave it alone. You know, that's why I want you guys, that's part of my message. I want you guys to know that you got to take control of your health. You got to take control of your life. You know, it's not just about your health. Everything. But right now, we're talking about your health, and I'm going to keep it there. We talk about the rest later, but you know your body best. You know your body best. You know how you're feeling. You know the difference of your feeling, your mode. You know where you're feeling pain, out of pain, feel. You got to take it in your own hands. That's part of my message, please. Because now this same doctor, he rushing me to go do surgery. And he's the one that's going to do the surgery. He's not an oncologist. He's not, he don't deal with cancer. He know nothing about this cancer. But anyway, they're rushing me. They want me to go do surgery.
So after you did your appointments and all the tests, what did you find out what type of cancer it is specifically? Yeah,
after they did the after they run the checks and stuff, it was a type of, it's called rhabdomyosarcoma, and it's like a pediatric cancer. It's very rare in adults, you know, and it's a very aggressive type of cancer. That's what I was told. So now you know what I'm thinking. It's been there for a year and a half, over a year and a half, and now it's a very aggressive cancer. So now I'm thinking this thing might be all over my body. I don't know. We still don't know. They don't know. You know, nobody knows. We still don't know. They just know that it's there, but they don't know if it's where it's at, if it spreads all over my body or where it's at. So
how did you break this news to your family, and did you break this news to your family?
Yeah, I did. But so my brother was the first one I called when I was in North Carolina. You know, I called my brother because me and my brother is real close. When you read this book, you'll read about my big brother. You know, me and my big brother is real tight, you know. So anyway, he was the first one that I called from North Carolina to tell him about it. You know, my big brother is a pastor, you know, very humble, very strong. He never get, you know, he don't get scared, he don't get panicked. You know, he's been by my side all my life, so I know. So he was the first one I called and let him know. But as far as the rest of my family, that was it right there, you know. And as you know, me and you was there, and I didn't tell you.
Yeah, you didn't tell me. I had no idea what was going on.
You know? Yeah, me and her was there in North Carolina, and we went through the whole orientation. That whole Friday, that whole day, and I'm living with it. I'm dealing with it. I'm processing it in my head. And she don't know because I didn't tell her, you know, because I don't want to disturb that right now. I want her to do what she got to do. I'm happy that she's getting ready to go to college. And that's all I want right now. That's been my dream, my wish for so long. I'm dealing with this on my own because I don't want her to get panicked or get sad and none of that. So I didn't tell her nothing. I told my brother, and after I talked to my brother, I called Natalie. And if you read in the book, you'll see who Natalie is. And Natalie's the mother of my son, and me and her is very close. So it was at nighttime. I didn't want to, you know, I think about it if I really want to call her to tell her, you know, but because I know she's going to bed, so I'm like, but I couldn't resist, so I ended up calling her and I told her. So after I called my brother, I told Natalie, and, you know, that was it for right there, you know, and that's how I kept it for a little while.
So how and what did you decide was the best as far as treatment? Now that you've had all these tests done, these biopsies, the next move, the next process in this, how were you able to decide? Yeah, so after they decided they're going to do a surgery, they're going to take it out.
So a surgery was scheduled. A surgery was scheduled, and the doctor, he sending me to a plastic surgeon. So he's gonna do the surgery, and the plastic surgeon is gonna do the reconstruction of my abdominal wall, because the tumor is in my abdominal wall. So they're gonna cut it out and they're gonna reconstruct my abdominal wall. So the plastic surgeon was supposed to do that. So the surgery was scheduled for Thursday, and Tuesday, this was like 3 weeks after I found out, because they're rushing me. So the surgery was scheduled for the Thursday. And the Tuesday, I went to meet both of them for a pre-surgery, meeting. They tell me what's going to happen and everything. So I met with the plastic surgeon first in the morning. He break it down to me what he's going to do. And I was like, okay. Then I went to see my surgeon, the doctor that, my doctor, which is going to do the surgery. So when I went to see him now, later on that day, to talk to him, while we was in the office talking, somebody came to the door and said, pathology is on the phone. He left the room and he came back like 20 minutes later. And when he walked through the door, he said, change of plan. He said, change of plan. So what happened, the pathology report came back and they told him that it's the type of cancer it is, it's serious. It's more serious than he was thinking. When he contact his oncologist, the guy on his team that's an oncologist, so that guy told him, no, you can't take it out. You're gonna need chemotherapy first. So he came back to the room. That's why he said, change your plan. Now I was supposed to do, this is Tuesday and I'm supposed to do surgery Thursday. So he told me, all right, I gotta send you to meet some other people now. We can't do the surgery.
Wow.
They're gonna send me now to see the department. They have a section that do the chemo, that deals with that. Forgot what the doctor is called, but they sent me to see him. They sent me to see the radiation doctor. They have a whole team in the same building, but they're not no cancer specialists, man. That's why I say you gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. So now I started seeing these people to start doing chemo. So once I heard chemo, the game changed for me.
Yeah, for sure.
The game changed for me. Before the chemo talk, I was just sliding through. Yeah, I'm gonna go do the surgery, cut it out, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm not even gonna tell my parents or nothing. Nobody ain't even gotta know, because I'm just gonna slide through this. I don't want nobody to get panic or nothing, right? That was my plan. I told my brother that, like, I'm gonna slide through. I'm not gonna tell my parents or nothing for them to worry.
Yeah.
So when I hear the chemo talk now, oh man.
It changed the whole thing.
Yeah, my mind, it just took my mind. I'm like, chemo. Like, wow. Now I felt like I had cancer.
Yeah, that made it surreal.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I had cancer before. When they brought up the chemo now, I'm like, yo.
So now that chemo was involved, what was the plan now that you had to take chemo? Yeah, all right. I'm going there because after the chemo, after they told me I had to do chemo first, that's when I knew I had to tell my parents. That's when I knew I had to start talking now. Yeah. Because I know what the chemo gonna do. I know the chemo gonna break me down. I know people gonna know something wrong. Because I know about, I've seen it many times, so I understand. So I told my brother, break it down to my parents and tell them. Then I started to tell, my friends and, share it with people as I go by. Anybody I run into that man named Cool, I let them know, because I know I had a fight to go fight. Yeah, so what happened now is that I'm getting ready to start chemo with these doctors. They sent me to get a port. The same surgeon, the same doctor that was telling me all this, it was desmoid tumor. He set up schedule a surgery to put a port. A port is a device that they administer the chemo drug through, and if they gotta take blood, which they do a lot,
you know, they work through that so they don't have to keep sticking you. It's a little device they put underneath your skin, like right up here in your chest. So when they're ready, they just push a little needle in it, and you know, that's how they're gonna administer the drug. So it's a little device in your chest, and it has a tube that comes up here to attach to one of your artery in your neck. Like that means you get the drug good, because you know, like for me, we'll talk about that later. It's a lot. And you know, your veins could just give too much trouble, collapse and stuff like that. So they joined into a main artery up here in my neck. So they scheduled to put that in, and he did. He put the port in. Now I'm supposed to go start chemo, right? And I met this guy in the gym. You know, it was like a pastor. He come with his team, and they work out in the gym like on Friday nights. Like they have a meeting, and they do a little thing together. So it was that guy I was talking to. And I told him what was going on with me. And he told me that there's a place in New York called Sloan Kettering. And I should check them out, because Sloan Kettering was the best in the world. That's what he told me. He said they're the best doctors in the world dealing with cancer right now. So you should check them out. So I went to my brother. I went to visit my brother, and, you know, me and him talking, and I told him about it. Then he told me, yo, he heard about that too. He said, yeah, he said he heard the same thing. And now he's saying we should go check them, right? He said, what you think? I told him, I said, man, I don't care. I don't care, man. I said, whatever, man. Because now my mind is it's too much.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, I don't care, man, anything. Because in a few days, I'm supposed to start chemo with these doctors over here. They have the port in, everything is ready. I'm supposed to start chemo with them. So my brother said, yo, I think we should wait, man. You know what I mean? He said, it's been there for this long. I think it's worth waiting another week or two or a couple of weeks, man, and get it right.
That's true. You
know, so we decided to do that. So I called them up, and I told them to cancel the chemo, because, you know, a few days I had scheduled. I did there's something that they call like a little counseling session with you and the nurse, where they talk to you about the chemo, right? So I had that and everything already, right? And ready to start. So I called them up, and I told them to cancel that appointment. I'm going to go get a second opinion, right? So my brother called up New York, Sloan Kettering, and he got a number. He called me back, and he said, take this number and call New York. I talked to them, but they want some information from you, you know, so they could match you with the right doctor. Because Sloan Kettering, they deal with all different type of cancer. All different type of, you know, you got a whole lot of different type of cancer. So they deal with, like, everything. So they match you with the doctor that deals with that cancer. So I sent all the medical records over there to them, and they look at it, and then they match me with a doctor and set up an appointment. And I went over there to meet with the doctor.
Remember, go subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button so you'll be the first one to know when the next episode drop of this Cancer Survivor series. We're going to continue this talk. Stay safe and keep stepping.